Immediately, he runs down to see his brothers. And while he's there visiting with his brothers, out comes Goliath.
Hey, you Israelites! Come fight me! I'll crush you!
And all the Israelites they run and hide. And then he starts, he's saying nasty things about Israel, he's saying nasty things about God, and David's like, what? What? Now, he may not be aware that this guy's been doing this for 40 days. His expectation is that when somebody's down there saying nasty stuff about Israel and God, that he's not going to be the only one ticked off. His expectation is probably that every Israelite there is going to go, don't say that stuff! And they're all going to be like, I'll fight him, I'll fight him, I'll fight him, and they're going to have to pick. But nobody wants to. So David's going, who's going to fight this guy? Hey, if I go and fight the guy, what will I get? People are like, oh, well, your dad won't have to pay taxes anymore, you'll get to marry the princess, all that type of stuff. He's asking people, his brothers are telling him basically to shut up. Okay? Take a look at verse 28. When Eliab, David's oldest brother, heard him speaking with the men, he burned with anger and asked him, why have you come down here? And with whom did you leave those few sheep in the desert? David was a shepherd, lowliest job he could get. I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You came down only to watch the battle. Now what have I done? Said David. Can't I even speak? He then turned away to someone else and brought up the same matter. And the men answered him as before. What David said was overheard and reported to Saul, and Saul sent for him. Somebody overheard it that was tight with the king. Okay? Now, by right, if anybody was going to challenge Goliath, they'd pick their mighty warrior. But really, Saul was probably the mighty warrior. When he was chosen as king, the Bible says he was head and shoulders taller than the next tallest guy. So he's the tallest Jew. The rest of the guys are like down here. He looked like what you would expect in a king. When the Jews pick the king, you want a warrior, someone who's going to inspire confidence. This was Saul. He looked like a tough guy. And he's hanging out in his tent. Somebody, comes and they're like, Saul, somebody's here to fight Goliath. So I'm like, really? Oh man, I can't wait to see this guy. He's probably picturing some kind of mercenary, scars all over. That's what he's expecting. Instead, they throw up the curtain and there's David. Saul must have been like, oh, that's nice little fella. Okay? No way. 16 years old. Okay? Verse 32, David said to Saul, let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him. Saul replied, you are not able to go out against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a